How do you think the government's got this agreement all over the place for the guillotining of the various bills?
What a big one, 31 bills. But it's by doing deals, there's a lot of bills on there that people care about, some there that no one cares about. Some, I mean, we're neutrally gendering the monarch in one of them. They're going from His Majesty or Her Majesty to the Sovereign. That's so I think a lot of things aren't that substantive. They've just got a lot of those through.
Are you comfortable with where the coalition got in terms of agreeing to put on the migration bills into this guillotine, and you then got the social media ban? Are you happy that those two at least will get through in this process today?
I think it's a package of a lot of bills. The migration one was very important. There's some in the overall that are important to us. But it's get what you can in this. We're all heading to the lifeboats, grab what you can. You know, they're pushing kids and women out of the way to try and get your bills through. It's not the greatest thing we've ever done, pushing that many bills through on a day, but it's get what you can in this.
You just described the Senate as a place of work. Senator Lydia Thorpe wasn't allowed in there today to show up and do her job. Are you comfortable with this concept of suspending senators for misbehaviour? I know hers was quite notable yesterday, but are you comfortable with that being a power of the Senate?
Yeah, I am. I think there has to be a line. When you're getting physical by throwing things with people, that is a line. You know, we've seen stunts and we've all pulled stunts. We saw one today when Senator, you're talking about Lydia, went to the press chamber up behind everyone and had a thing. That's the theatre we talk about. A bit less of that would be great, but the violence thing, it's not acceptable.
And that's enough, you think? This has been dealt with now. If you do come back next year, she can just go back to being normal?
It wasn't just a suspension. She had a private member's bill on today that she lost debating. So there has been a personal toll to her legislative thing because of what she's done. And if she thinks twice of going that far, that'll be good.
So happy with that, in other words?
Yeah.
No further action?
No, okay. I think that's
Do you think we're coming back next year, or do you tip an early election, or you're on May like Clonell and I?
I'm on April. No, April with Cam. I think they've cleared the deck so it's a possibility. If I was sitting in the Prime Minister's office as an advisor or something like that, I want the ability to push that button as soon as I get any advantage. If there's an early rate rise we don't expect,
Early rate cut, you mean?
Early rate cut, sorry.
You're scaring us all there.
If Albo trips over, if Dutto trips over and does anything wrong, you want the availability to go without anything. They'll go as long as they can, waiting for an advantage to appear. Yeah. But I think you're right. 2 rate cut windows is probably enough.
You're listening to a former party official here, so he knows what he's on about. Has this energy blackout story in New South Wales come at the right time for you pushing this nuclear aid?
Yeah, and I don't think it'll be the last one. I think over summer there'll be more than that. Going long, not going early this year, is trying to get that summer reset, which happens year on year. But it comes with a downside risk for the first time over this energy thing. If there are blackouts across the eastern seaboard, it will hurt. The nuclear argument isn't hurting it. All that is bad. We think it's a net positive, giving a reliable and affordable...
But if it's a net positive, why isn't more of the detail out there? Why are we waiting so long to get anything on the cost, for example?
We want to make it relevant. You release these bite-sized chunks. That was always the...
We haven't had a bite for, I think, like 150 days.
We've been wanting an election. we know we can't get to an election without giving more detail. We're given the site, so that's out there. The costings, the mix, and all of those things will come.
Is there a risk leaving it late, though? Even if this surprises on the downside in terms of your expectations of how the Australian people feel about nuclear, you've left it so close to when the PM could call an election. Yep. If it's a stinker, he could go straight after you announce it.
And is it a sign then that, you'd actually like the election to be later rather than sooner because it's not ready? We don't have any of those details.
No, I think it is ready. I'm not in the cabinet around there. I think everything is ready to go. I think it's just about a process of giving that in a theme when they say, what's your plan? Oh, well, here's our plan. Here's what it is. Here's what it's going to cost. Here's when it's going to be. Here's how we're going to do it. And it fits into that narrative of a campaign a lot better than saying it out.
How does it play in the Hunter? That's an area where you live.
It plays really well. Look, there's 2 aspects of it. There is flicking a light switch in, knowing the lights come on and keeping your fridge cool and not having to turn off your air conditioner. There is that aspirational phase. Australia seems, a lot of people, we've given up. We're just going down this path of this, that and the other. Having a go and trying something big is aspirational in itself, and people are responding to that. So we've got the inquiry that they've got coming up to the Hunter, I think the 10th, he says, without certainty. But a number of people contacted our office, pro-nuclear, about how they can get involved, which is something I've never had, Hey, I'm a senator, I hide from the public generally, but they're positive about this and they want to get involved, so it's a good thing.
At risk of being particular, is the figure, the cost, the share, is that settled and you're waiting to announce it, or is that figure not yet settled?
No, I can't speak with specificity on that, but we are told it is a settled plan. In my conversations, I'm on the E&C committee. Ted O'Brien is very comfortable with that. I think Dutton's very comfortable with that. I don't think there's any surprises. I think we can't afford to get this wrong, let's be honest. So I think the homework's gone into it.
I guess the point I'm getting to is, though, that the team doesn't know the number yet, do they?
Not the whole team. I'm pretty sure Cabinet does.
Okay, so they have the number.
Yeah.
Ross Cadell, thanks so much for your time.